Bucket fills.
Oh, that was me.
That's a new one.
It's a new one. Okay, anybody for a bucket fill?
I'll take Yeah, go for it. Ryan was super helpful over the weekend, so just want to fill his bucket. Was
Nice.
there on the phone all the time, so.
Nice.
Oh, I feel a bucket. Cam's saying this. He got his first contract this weekend.
Hey!
5 days into the business and already have a contract.
45 days in. But he's been
25.
working it, though.
Working.
He's been working it. He's been working it.
Thanks,
For
Tanner.
you.
Appreciate it.
That's awesome.
All right, well then I'll fill the bucket this way. Like, thank you to Tanner. You made my loan incredibly for my new
Yes.
house.
Thank you.
So very simple. Like, working local is a great way to go, guys. Like, went into underwriting, like, same underwriter each time. It wasn't like I had like, oh, now I need this, so now I need that. So thank you, Tanner. And thank you, Miss Courtney. I'll see you on Thursday at 9 a.m. and 9:30 a.m. I can't wait. It'll be so exciting. All right, any other bucket fills?
I was just gonna say thank you, Nick and Kendall. They're always so supportive of just directing traffic and getting me what I need mail wise and stuff. So thank you very much.
Anytime.
Yay, I love all the love. All right, going once, going twice. All right, we got some birthdays this weekend. Dallas will celebrate today, the 29th. So be sure to wish her a happy birthday. Christina Hill celebrating tomorrow, the 30th. Happy birthday, Christina. Leo Michael on the 2nd, so on Friday, he'll be celebrating his birthday. And then Jim Gamble's on the 3rd of July, which is Saturday. So a fun week of birthdays, guys. We wanted to welcome some new people to the office. So Stephen Huckabee, Kendall was kind enough to add photos so you can recognize the faces that you see in the office. Yvette Abbott Smith has joined us as well. You guys, some people are getting really nervous out here. Am I still new or am I not new? Vince Flavin is Flavin. Vince, come correct me. Is referral from Katie Forrest. And then Kenzie Robinson is the showing assistant or showing partner for Farrell on Austin Home Team. And she got her license last Thursday, passed her test. And she was really, really gutsy. I do have to share this story. She drove to Jeff City and took her test in Jeff City so that she could then just walk over her paperwork. I mean, they obviously, we figured out signatures and such. But I was like, girl, you got confidence. I like it.
That's ballsy to take the test
Right?
in Jeff City.
Hey, I like
Pass
it.
it no matter
Those are
what.
people we have, like, that's who you're working with, guys. That's who we got in this office, right? Charles Amoa is also joining us. So welcome, Charles. Referral and brought to us by the Discover KCT. And then Tony Bowles. So Tracy's sister, Tony, is also joining us, getting her Kansas license. And then Connie Caputo Belcher is also joining us. She was a experienced agent coming to us from the Olathe, Overland, South Overland Park area. All right, Tanner.
Oh, I got something.
Yes.
You're
I'm
on
here.
time.
Okay.
I'm on time. I'm not late.
Bonus.
No. Good morning, everybody. I don't have that much. It's some boring mortgage news, but it actually does help you guys. The FHA, the Federal Housing Association, just changed their student loan debt from 1% to 0.5%. So what that means for you guys is, because that makes no sense to what I'm saying. Let's say you have, right now, student loans are all in deferment, right? Meaning that when you pull a credit score, it comes up to as $0 on the credit score. When, let's say you have $25,000 in student loan debt, that means that we have to count for monthly mortgage payments $250 or 1%, meaning that you can qualify for less because of that. And they change it from that 1% now to 0.5%. So now instead of 250, it's 125. So borrowers that didn't qualify before are now starting to qualify because of this. Because so your first time homebuyers that have that student loan debt are now eligible, probably that they weren't eligible before, because it splits their debt, monthly debts in half. And so it is big news because it could help first time homebuyers, especially people with a bunch of student loan debt that are trying to get in a home that didn't qualify before to qualify. It will be FHA. It's not for the conforming loans yet, but it is for FHA. And that, I mean, it just helps you qualify and get in. So that's big news.
Before you move on,
Yeah.
one clarifying question.
Yeah.
Could it also mean that someone who would have only qualified for 300,000 before might be able to increase their budget to 375?
Absolutely.
or more?
Absolutely, it helps increase the budget a lot because, all right, so for instance, every $100 a month in monthly payment is $20,000 purchase price difference. And so let's say that it was 25,000, so you go from $250 to $125. Well, right there is an increase of $30,000 in what you qualify for. So it just also does bump your FHA buyers from down here to they can now qualify for more.
I'm thinking like all of the people that like physicians and those attorneys
Yeah.
that you will love as clients later. I mean, maybe not the attorney, but I mean, you will love their budgets. You will love their decisiveness, that kind of stuff later in life, but those kinds of people.
100%, especially, and if you have any FHA buyers right now, check with your lender. If it's me, I've talked to all of my buyers, but check with your lenders, make sure that they know that or they're doing it, because your buyers now could be eligible for a lot more than they weren't a week ago, because it just passed and it happened immediately. So that's actually big news.
Nice.
And then one more news that the Biden pushed the foreclosure, pushed foreclosure bans from June 31st, it's supposed to end to July 31st. So basically gave them another month of you can't be forced out of foreclosures. What that did really is extend their time to come up with a plan to slowly ease it into action. Instead of just saying, oh, you can now be eligible for foreclosure, they're gonna come up with a plan. So don't expect an influx of listings to come exactly on July 31st from foreclosures. Not gonna happen. They're gonna have payments. They're gonna start trying to set up payments options for them. They haven't had nothing that has came out yet, and so I'll keep you updated on that and learn more. But
My understanding of the foreclosure process too, it's a
it's a
process.
huge process.
It's not, it's
just
like
gonna
you
be-
get permission to foreclose on someone. It's not like you show up and they're like,
Exactly.
out, you get out. Like you've
Exactly.
gotta go through a
There
good long
could be more
process.
short sales on it. People now, but with the market the way it is, it's starting to shift a little bit, as you guys know. But the market the way it is, a lot of people could sell their houses instead of going to foreclosure, which could lead to some influx of listings, but it's not gonna be all at once. It's gonna be a dragged out, long process throughout the rest of the year into next year. So that's all I got.
Thanks, Tanner.
Absolutely.
Question.
Yeah.
For the people that qualify for FHA, but now with the student loan thing, I'm gonna have to,
Yeah, I see it.
He's like, he's trying to be on camera, he's
I
trying to
know.
see
it's
you.
a chemical.
I don't wanna hold it. Anyways, would they possibly be able to qualify for conventional now with that student loan?
So that it won't change anything.
No,
For the
okay.
FHA conventional, because it's still based on that credit score. It just allows the FHA buyers to qualify for more.
Okay.
It's a great question. Because it doesn't change anything as far as qualifying their credit score or where they qualify for, it just changes how much their monthly debts are. So,
Thank you.
Yep.
Great question, Emily. Thank you,
You're
Tanner.
welcome.
Courtney. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
You look fabulous.
Oh, thank you. Good morning, everyone. I have just a few updates. Just for those of you that are sending in contracts and requesting title work, I am working with Hannah Beckwith in the Northland campus. She runs that office together by herself. So her and I are kind of co-oping on some of the seller transactions as well as the cash deals. So if you see me looping her in, that's just, we're processing together and tag teaming some of those files. So, and please feel free to send all your communication to me. I'll make sure that she's looped in, appropriately. And then secondly, I just thought I would share about vesting title. I know primarily in this office, you guys have a lot of purchase money transactions, but for those, when you ask yourself, if you have a non-vested spouse that has to sign, you basically in the state of Kansas and Missouri, for purchase money transactions,
What is purchase money? You're talking a different language.
this is buying and selling. So any buying and selling transactions,
Okay.
we consider that purchase money.
Sorry.
We consider that purchase money transaction. So anybody that is not vested or not wanting to take title, they do not need to sign on that transaction for both the state of Missouri and Kansas. Now, for those transactions that you have, investment properties, second homes, does that non-vested spouse have to sign in Missouri? Yes. that non-vested spouse has to sign in Missouri for investment properties, second home transactions, but we can also prepare a marital waiver as well. So if they don't want to go into that contract, go into title on those types of transactions, in the state of Missouri, we can do a marital waiver. In the state of Kansas, it's a little bit different. We know that it's different by state wise. So in Kansas, they do have to sign. We cannot do a marital waiver for investment property, second homes. Homestead, what that means to you is your clients, that is their primary residence. They reside at that property over 50% of their time. That's what homestead means. So homestead is really just for those transactions. Once they purchase the property, depending upon what they do with the property, if they're refined, whatever, they're typically going to have that non-vested spouse having to sign. So just kind of a brush up. I know we have primarily in this bucket, the buys and sells, but for those of you that have investors, LLCs will need articles of incorporation and operating agreement for those organizations that are contracting second homes and investments.
Excellent. So a lot of times too, when they're wanting to keep a spouse off of an investment property because it's something, it's a rental property, one of many that they have, and they don't want their spouse necessarily be taking title because it just complicates things there. It's a
Yes.
common.
On the mortgage, are you gonna require the spouse to be on the mortgage in any event?
No.
That new then, because it's been for years that they've always required
To be on the mortgage for an investment property,
that, for any property,
to be for this.
for any property. I've never had a this is new to me, I've never had a property where the mortgage company didn't require the spouse to sign the mortgage.
Oh, to sign the mortgage?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Okay, so if you don't put them on the contract, you don't have any way to hold the fire to sign the mortgage, push comes to shove. So if you're representing a seller, you have a married buyer that doesn't want their spouse on the contract and they're getting a loan, it can still bite you in the tail if you don't have the seller on the contract because they have to sign the mortgage. And if they don't sign the mortgage, your deal's dead.
No, they don't. So you can purchase a property as a married person.
Sorry, I'm confused on your question.
Yeah.
Say it one more
Maybe
time.
we take that offline. I don't want to confuse it seems like a complicated thing and we do have a pretty full agenda today.
Okay.
So if we could take that offline, that would be helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when it comes to title, if you've got, and
This is what we go by, our examiners go by. So.
Okay.
re-
for
and-
title,
For
which is
title.
different than a loan.
Yes, but, and then to that point, it is always good to have more signatures in both states. I mean, obviously we want to communicate that spousal interest always, but typically this is what we go by.
Okay, yeah. And it's also when you're getting a contract that has a buyer and it says AMP as a buyer, as a listing agent guy, it's new or not new, that should be a moment where you pause and say, okay, tell me more about this AMP person, where's the other part of the AMP?
Absolutely.
AMP for a married person, right? So on our contracts, we do marital status, sorry.
Yes.
I mean, like, I'm doing the same thing where I'm like, purchase money, talk to me. So AMP, a married person, if that came across and there was only one name on your contract, buyer or seller, you do want to ask some questions and get some clarity, and you'd be happy to help with how that works on the title side of things. Tanner would be more than happy to take questions on how that works on the lending side of things.
Yeah.
Because it is possible to buy without,
Yes.
takes one to buy, two to sell.
That's right. And
But there's things you can put in place to make sure that someone doesn't go on title if you're buying by yourself.
yes,
And you do not want
Correct.
someone to go on title.
that's exactly it.
See you Thursday.
I like
See you Thursday. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not kidding. All right, guys, thank you very much. I appreciate it. These two are always very, very helpful. I go ask questions all the time. And I have my own little, I do fun stuff and doing fun stuff with real estate. You get to ask fun questions and they're always very kind to answer those. These fun questions, don't call Tanner at 11 o'clock on Saturday night. With them. We'd appreciate
Right.
that. Oops, am I back on or are you? There we go.
Yeah.
Okay, Heartland Partners Home and Auto, is there anybody on today?
Nope.
All right, guys, if you have insurance needs, you need quotes, our insurance partners, Heartland Partners in Crime. Oh, Well, that slide didn't get updated.
No.
Don't recognize that chick.
Nope.
All right, 4th of July, guys, it's on Sunday. KWRI was nice enough to give your leadership team and our administrative staff Monday, July 5th off in observance of Independence Day. So we will not be staffed. You get full access to the office as always. I'm gonna say this really slow and loud. If you do not have the app to access the office, contact Kendall and Nick so they can give you said app so that you can get in. I am moving this weekend. I may not be able to respond to you quickly with codes. Door code 1352, 1352 to get into the training room. All right, and I'll do my best to respond to you. Happy 4th of July, guys. All right, again, YouTube channel, we are climbing. I'm gonna be so excited when we get to 100 followers or subscribers. Forget it's YouTube. Also, how cute is Kendall with her, like, isn't that fun? I mean, right now she's reaching out, looking for people to train. And wouldn't you sign up to train just so that you could get your little like image, like cut out like you were like a movie star and put on the front? I know that all of us that are training are really enjoying that. All right. Speaking of, yesterday I did a training at 10 a.m. Thank you so much for the 10 of you that attended on appraisal packets. So that is, she's getting it updated and the video uploaded to the YouTube account. She's also sending out the appraisal letter that we went over and sample of that. And then also a sample of all of the other documents that go in that appraisal packet. So please watch for that. All right, guys. First video.
Oh,
you're not ready?
Sorry.
It's okay. Nick was checking his Facebook.
No, I was checking to see why that slide was still in there.
I'm just kidding. You're such a big social media guy, Nick.
I know, what can I say?
Yay, mega camp's coming, guys. Some new and different things that are going on for mega camp. Okay, there we go. Early bird pricing, so. I don't know, we're good. I like
Yeah,
the
you're
music
good.
though, it's good. Okay, couple things that are different about mega camp this year, okay? In the past, everyone's been welcome to go to mega camp. Mega agent is defined as someone that sells 20 million or more. It started out as mega camp, like you had to be a mega agent to go to mega camp. Well, with COVID and some of the restrictions that are going on, they're taking it as an opportunity for everyone can go digitally, like we did last year. You can get a ticket and attend digitally, which I think has been beautiful because you can go to more sessions. You can not have to travel and take time away from family. And yet for in-person, they are going to do some in-person. Invitations are going out. They're starting at the top with the mega agents and sending those invitations out. So the first round of invitations went out last week. If you did not sign up by Thursday of last week, those spots then went to the next level, and they're going to be sending out the additional rounds of qualifications to be able to attend in person. Now, if you are a MAPS client, mastery client, you may have also gotten notified that you can register for it there. Note that if you were in that top tier, and there were not, I mean, it took quite a bit to get to that top tier, you would have received an email. I received 6 emails to remind you that if you wanted to sign up, sign up. So if you haven't heard anything yet, your turn has not come, but note they are doing a really good job of keeping leadership in the loop too, to make sure that it's not something that goes in your junk mail.
So has anybody from our office been invited yet?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. They were in that top tier. So the other tiers and rounds are coming. So I think the next one will be coming out next, like in the coming days and such. So I'll keep everybody posted in this office as you qualify for being able to attend in person. It is kind of a moving fluid thing, Jim, because at first it was like 2,500 people or something.
Well, at first
like
it was
that.
Gary's top 100.
then-
Now it's, if you're in MAPS coaching, you can go, but then nobody else can go. And I've heard this all last week in Florida.
Yep.
And so I'm just kind of curious, like, okay,
When can I sign up? If you're excited.
Do us ordinary people get to go to mega camp?
Yep, so we are going, we're working through it. It's a fluid, like flexible, like 2021, 2020 kind of a thing. So I'll keep you posted on it. I will say after the fun we had at the Road to a Million last week, I definitely reached out to Amy and was like, Amy, yo, now that it's not COVID so much anymore, can we get together locally? So I will keep you posted too, if we can do something here where we're broadcasting it in a major way. Kind of a thing too, but that is what's going on with Mega Camp. Clash of Closers. So this is where they're gonna go through scripts with some people that are really high level closers. And so they're doing kind of a script off kind of a thing. So they've got 2 different rounds, July 8th and the 29th. So feel free to tune into that. All right, who wants to be a millionaire? Did you guys enjoy doing this last week? I have to cheat and pull it up on my phone because it's hidden. Okay. The question is, what are the 4 laws of lead generation? I was really well prepared. I would have pulled like a $20 bill out and been like, who wants it? Tell me, does anyone know the 4 laws of lead generation? Anyone know one of them? Nobody. I like how Tanner's trying. He's like, I appreciate you like
I'm trying
saving.
to, I'm not like verbalizing it.
Starts with a D. Build a,
Database.
thank
Oh,
you.
yeah.
Yes, Jim. Okay.
It's gonna say network, but yeah. same.
Feed it every,
Kind of.
Day.
thank you. Communicate with it
Regularly, daily.
Frequently.
with an S, systematically.
Oh.
I'm gonna, like, systematically is like daily, frequently, like, but also systematically is where you've got a plan in place and you're hitting it, right? Like with a systematic approach, and then service all the leads that come your way. All right, well, you guys are gonna have your MREA books out. I can just tell by the end of this. I can't wait to report back to KWRI. This is going really, really well. Nick, talk to us about our June numbers.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, well, as you can already see the huge tagline at the bottom, it is so far our biggest month ever already. We haven't even closed out everything. So far, we've already closed 115, which is already a record in itself, for 39,660,000 in closed volume. That's already a record as well for our market center. We still have 33 pending contracts. Some of those are going to fall out. You are going to be receiving a lot of emails here within the next day or 2 from Kendall, just making sure if those are closing or being pushed next month or canceled. Hopefully pushed to next month, if anything.
Kendall or Wilson. So you may be getting a phone call from Wilson on your closed contracts and what's coming. So if you get a call from Wilson, he's legit.
Yes,
He's working for us.
keep forgetting about Wilson.
Yes, sorry.
No, not a problem. Good. All right. And so far, as you know, we've kind of been trying to keep track because last month we were so close to hitting $1 million in GCI, which is your money. We have never hit $1 million as a market center, but now, as of right now, we have already hit 1 million and surpassed it by an extra $150,000 in gross mission income. We still have plenty to go. If you want to see where we're at, there are 3 boards over there, kind of by the rankings, where you can kind of take a look at it and keep track of how we're doing, how you're doing specifically.
So we have never, ever, ever cleared, in the time that this market center has been open, cleared $1 million. And this is the month that we did it, not just by a little, but by a lot. Okay, I added some more stuff. I don't know if you knew this
Oh,
or
that's
not.
perfect. All right.
You like that?
No, that's great. 1,074,000 of that was paid out to you as an agent for 93.3%. It's that's sorry. I was looking. I got sidetracked. That's how much that you received as an agent. That's not counting royalty and company dollar. That's taking all of that out. So everybody's doing great this month. Again, keep up on the board. See where you're at.
Excellent. Thank you, Nick.
Yeah.
I mean, when people ask me like, why did you stop selling? Why do you do what you do? And it's because I love seeing things like this, that you guys are selling more, that we're paying the money out to you all, like that we're not putting that in, our pockets here. That's what I love about this company. Okay. This is exciting. What's going on in the market, guys? everybody knows everything's a little bit kind of funky in the market, right? And yesterday I was fortunate to get to be on a call with Jason Abrams and our president, Mark King. Is that good? Are we good? And Jason did a really good job because I think all of us, so people are coming to us and are like, hey, so what's going on? Is the bubble gonna crash? Like, what's going on? And he did a nice job of kind of drawing out how anything works with any commodity, right? So with whether it be bonds or the tech industry or Bitcoin or real estate or lumber prices, right? This is what this looks like. He drew it out kind of like this, right? And these are like the data points of a commodity. As a commodity, interest in a commodity rises and then interest in a commodity drops, right? There's a point in which we kind of our shift. We have a shift in the market, right? And that shift is really just defined as when a consumer's opinion of that commodity changes. We can't control when a consumer's opinion of that commodity changes. We can only react to it, right? We can only be prepared for it. So what are you guys seeing in the market right now? I mean, we're seeing a little, like, you tell me. I know some of you have been out showing.
There's been so many agents texting me, like trying to convince me to write an offer on their listing, and I haven't seen that in so long, and it's annoying. Because I'm not used to it, I'm used to the opposite, but it is interesting to see it, and it's a good opportunity for buyers right now, but I think a mix between travel, holiday, and buyers are just sick of this, and I think a lot of them have decided to enjoy their summer, not being out with all that.
So I mean, we're starting to see where prices are not, so like, it's not crazy, things aren't super crazy climbing, right? Are things kind of holding a little bit? We might even be on the other side of it where it's like, ooh, granted, it's a time of year and we're gonna talk about that in a minute. But maybe we'll say that like we very well could be right here currently, right? Like somewhere in this place. And note that between these two lines, it's not like it's a month, couple months time. It could be years, right, guys? That we could be in this place where, yeah, we might be, or maybe we're sitting kind of like in this spot. You know, it's really hard to tell. We don't know exactly where we're sitting in this, right? We don't know until it started to drop, that it started to drop. So one of the things that was really interesting that he pointed out to us is if you look at, and I'm totally looking at my notes, guys. I'm good. You guys know what this line may very well represent? Two things. One is the number of agents getting into the business. So as the market is getting crazier and crazier, more people are getting into the business, right? So if we look at this as being 2009 back here, so 2009. Back in 2009, we had 725,000 agents. We call this 09. And you guys, 09, that's what your team leader out of business. Woohoo! Right? Because I love getting into business when it's like really, really bad. No, so 725. Do you guys know how many people we have in the business today? 2021, we call this today. Any guesses? Across the country. 1.52 million with an M, million agents. Okay. What's really interesting too is they pointed out that agents are still getting in the business because it might take them a little time to get into business before the word gets out that the market's not super great. Everybody's getting in right now because real estate is like super hot and it's so easy and you can just like put a sign on the yard and it sells, right? But it takes some time to go through those classes, right? And to get into the business. So we're going to still have more and more and more agents entering the business as time goes on because either they're not getting the message or it takes them some time, A, to work up the guts to even look up what it is to get into real estate school, right? How much it costs. Takes some time for them to convince themselves this is a good idea. Yes, I should do this. Takes them some time to have conversations with significant others and family members and say, no, I'm not crazy to go to a 100% commission job, right? So we're likely to have more and more and more and more agents entering into the market. Okay, the other interesting thing that he shared is back in 2009, we had 4.6 million deals, transactions in 2009. Today, we have 6 million deals. So yes, the number of deals are increasing, right? And yet, as things start to, the market starts to drop off, deals might very well start to drop off as well, right? The number of transactions that we're selling may very well start to drop off too. Right now, we're selling a lot because there's a lot to go on. So he wanted to talk about and think that we really need to be aware for your purposes. Everyone's looking at me like I'm crazy. I'm not doing a great job, Nick.
No, you're doing great. I
Yes,
was
great.
just looking at the fact that it's not increasing at the same rate.
It's not increasing at the same rate. And part of that too is that we have to stay in top of mind share, right? Because more and more people are getting into the market. Granted, they may not be the best, but it's that time that your friend says, oh, I'm so sorry, but my aunt got her license and I have to see her at Thanksgiving and I feel really, really awkward if I don't use her to buy a house. So I'm sorry. Also, there are bigger players getting into the market too, guys. It's not just your friend from high school, or for many of you, your previous client. How many of you guys had clients get into the business, right? Zillow is hot and heavy. And they're very much so coming, and we're going to talk about that here in just a second too. So we're not just worried about our friend that just got their license and, oh, they're not as experienced as me and I can show more value, right? We also need to be aware of the fact that there's bigger players coming. And then there's going to be a point when this is going to start to drop off too, and we really need to get our mind share and our processes and our value in place. Okay, all is good. So in that same, the other thing I would tell people too is if you need to draw this out for people so that they realize, A, you don't have to put all the number with the agents going in there, but if you're at a listing appointment or you're at a buyer consult and they're saying what's going on with the market, if we are in this place, Kansas City will likely be in that place of kind of like, it's kind of funny. We're not going to drop off tomorrow. Like prices are not going to start falling drastically. Is Keisha's phone going to start blowing up some more? And Keisha's gonna be nice because
Because you're a sweetheart.
you're always nice. Remember though, as your phone is blowing up as a buyer's agent and those calls are coming for feedback or calls are coming for, hey, you said you might have someone interested. You think maybe they might be interested? To be kind, because 2 months ago, you all were blowing up their phone and saying, pick me. So again, right, like that time is coming. But let's,
Do you think that this like type of drop will filter out a lot of agents who came into the business thinking it was a different gig or different idea, a crazy busy market? Like, do you think we'll start seeing a lot of agents decide like this isn't as easy as I thought, or the market shifted, and then people start to.
Keisha, I think that there's always gonna be those people that come in and say, man, this is way more than I thought, and, and not the lifestyle. I mean, it's a lifestyle. Would you all agree? It is a lifestyle. And I don't mean the fancy cars you drive.
All y'all drive fancy cars.
I mean, it's a lifestyle that you are willing to be on call 24/7 kind of a thing. So you're always gonna have that. I think the trade-off though would be, right now, we had some people come in and turn and exit because they're like, I wrote 3 offers and none of them got accepted, right? So if the market's starting to slow or starting to downturn and you're a buyer's agent and you're not as skilled as before and your phone's ringing more, it might be easier for you to be like, oh, okay, well, I could maybe kind of have a kind of like not super helpful conversation with my buyer and convince them to write an offer. So those people are gonna have more success there. Does that make sense? Because it'll be might be a little bit slower market. So that, I think there's a trade-off. Before people were exiting because they couldn't get something under contract or they couldn't get a listing. And now they might be exiting because there's not as many deals kind of a thing. So I don't know that it's gonna be a massive change. Okay, so in talking a little bit about some of our competitors, and he went on to share another graph. And this is one in which on this axis, we have value. And this one we have cost, how much it costs. And he did this little like stair step kind of thing, right? And he talked about, this is again with any industry, there's many industries, right? One example he used was Amazon. And with Amazon, they show you value. You want to buy a new pair of tennis shoes, you can go on Amazon and they say, okay, here's the tennis shoes for you to pick from, right? And you say, okay, I like that one. Well, now I also, I want to see if you have any that are in white. Okay, so you're showing value, you can give them all the ones in white. Now, can you filter just by my size? So I can only get down to size 9. I only want to look at size 9, so they're showing you value. Okay, cool. I want to buy this one. Awesome. They go to the next point of value and they say, with those tennis shoes, do you want to buy some Scotch Guard and make sure that they don't get messed up, right? So now they're offering you another good bit of value. Okay, sure, yeah, I'll take the Scotch Guard and I'll take those cute little, shoelaces or whatever. So they're adding more value and you're climbing the ladder here. Now they're saying, how do you want it to be shipped to you? Do you want it to be shipped to you this one time overnight? You can pay overnight shipping, Or do you want every package you get for the next year to come to you within 2-day shipping, and you can join our Prime membership, right? So they're slowly getting to where they're making it to where that more and more services are being offered, and they're stacking those services on top of each other, right? But first and foremost, they're making this an easy experience to capture the leads. That makes sense? Okay, another industry in which this very much so is happening is the same thing, but it's with Zillow. And I'll show you, right, what's coming on. I don't know if you guys follow Zillow. Much of us are just busy working, right? We try not to say the word Zillow. Now Zillow is saying, I've got all the leads because you want to look at a house in 64113. Okay, let me show you that house. You want to look at a house that's only between 200 and 400,000? Cool, I can show you that. You want to look at a house that just came on the market or is coming soon? Yeah, I can show you those pre-foreclosures. And then they're saying, okay, we can help you sell your house. We can help you with your financing. And it's getting further and further. They've already created this funnel. They've already created this piece where they're already capturing all of that information, right? It's coming. Y'all, I tried to get on last night, and you know how last year during COVID, I kept pulling all the stats for the showings? To tell you how many showings there were in 64113 between 400,000 and 425,000. You could do that pool report. Any of you experienced, like people that have been around for a little while? No, you don't know what I'm talking about. It was very helpful when you're trying to price something to see where all the showings were at. Showing time has taken that away. As an agent now, you pay $9 a month if you'd like that. This is all what Gary was talking about coming. So they first we're going to go after the transaction data with .loop. Then they're going to go after the showing data, right? Because they .loop, showing time, Zillow, all the same thing. Okay, it's happening. Don't freak out. Don't go broadcast it. I don't think we need to give Zillow any more attention of anything. Nick, I'm doing a great job today.
This is a video.
Yeah, do you want to do it?
Yep.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit. This was really like, KWRI was like, hey guys. Hey, they showed us this yesterday, and then I found the showing time thing late last night, and I emailed it to all my peers, and no one has responded to me yet. I'm like, do you know how big of a deal this is? Like, it was a great tool. Okay. So now showing time has a bundling for selling and buying to save homeowners thousands. There's good news, guys. So they're going to give them a 1 to 2% rebate from Zillow. They'll give them a $1,500 closing credit. They also have the ability to buy the home from them. It's really interesting. It's going to show them exactly how much they can save. They can buy their house as is. They don't have to worry about staging it or preparing it for the market. 360. So Zillow 360 is what they're calling it and they've got the ability to sell your home, finance your purchase. They have in some markets where they're closing them as well with title companies. And then they do where they do a breakdown of the difference between the cost and show homeowners how they're gonna make $5,000 to $7,000 more using Zillow than using you as an agent.
Is that true though? Or is there like a little secret that they're keeping?
No, it's well, I mean, with the rebates and such, and if you do go to Zillow /360, or if you Google Zillow 360, you can go through this and scroll through and it shows you the comparison. And to me, Keisha, if I was an uneducated person and I didn't have a great real estate advisor, I'd probably look at this and go, yeah, that looks a lot simpler. And it looks like I'm gonna make $7,000 more. Little do they know that by working with you, you're gonna help sell their house for more. You're gonna help, I mean, working with Zillow does not come with the counseling and the advisement that you do. So they may very well leave money on the table, but for someone that is, think of how many consumers in the world like to self-service themselves through Zillow. They have for years.
Yeah.
When they used to be able to see the sold prices, how much of a pain was that as an agent? Because people thought they didn't really need you necessarily, right? So yes, it's showing here, at first it looks like it's going to be less of a value, but then when they give them those credits, it ends up being, what it's like 7,000 to 8,000 more. The beautiful thing, and I ended this little scroll on it, it's not in our market yet. So they currently are operating this in Los Angeles, like a lot in California, in Phoenix, Colorado, Denver, Colorado, Austin, Texas, Atlanta, some in Florida. So it's not here yet. but I can tell you it's coming, right?
Every major city.
Let's fix the rebate thing here.
It definitely is something to be aware of, guys, and all the more reason too, that when you look at what value you're giving, that you're quickly getting into the different categories for you is that I can come out and give you a real value in your house. And I'm being more proactive. So I guess what I'm not trying to scare you, I don't think go and scream from the rooftops, but just know that Zillow is very much so coming. Nick, would you add anything?
On the whole Zillow thing coming?
Yeah, because you said through, yes, okay.
I think you covered everything that we've sat through and spoke on. There's a major push from them, and that's all we're hearing constantly.
And note that we are very much so watching it and aware of it, but this is too, where again, this is not someone that's gonna come and explain, like Zillow, try to explain to my buyer what recasting looks like. Try to explain to my buyer how if we close on their house right now, they don't have a mortgage payment, and like sit down and draw that out. So this will work for some of your consumers, but some of your people still need you as an advocate helping, but just be aware that it's out there and it's very much so could be coming.
I definitely feel like part of this job is emotional intelligence that the internet just simply doesn't have.
Yes. And yet, will there be buyers that are like, yes, I will push the easy button and I will sell my house?
Well, good for those buyers.
Yes. Okay,
I don't know what they're doing.
Outfront has new must reads. I grabbed one of them. How to thrive in a high demand market. Know your value. So we've talked about this, I know before. Y'all, if you don't currently have auto emails set up for areas that most of your database purchases in, so that you really are an expert and can see what's going on in those, it's a way to know the value of a property. Whenever I was trying to establish myself as a Brookside agent, I had that set up, so I knew exactly how much the yellow house was that came on the market. And it's a great way to really understand what a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1-car garage in Prairie Village goes for. If you have something set up that is specifically an auto email for Prairie Village. The other is, and we talked about this a lot on our one-on-one coaching, is target your audience. Sarah Reynolds talks about how early in the business, she made the mistake of constantly talking about first-time home buyers. And then she's like, why are nobody in my database giving me listings? Well, it's because you're marketing about first-time home buying and you're not marketing to those people. So she's specifically pivoted and targeted all of her marketing to talk about the move-up opportunity, to talk about what that looked like. And her marketing that she put together was specific to moving up. All right, I know that Randy is back from vacation in one time, so I'm gonna be thoughtful and give him time. Agent to agent referrals, that's a no-brainer in a high demand market. Working with home builders and not going after the big subdivisions, but necessarily the people that are working on the 10, 12, build jobs that are smaller build jobs, and just not being afraid to go in and have a conversation with someone. And then finally embracing your sphere and making sure that you're targeting those, which so many of you guys do so well in this office. All right, I wanted to say thank you to everyone that attended the road map to a million. This was a big 4 event. So Northland, Overland Park, Lee Summit, and myself all got together. It was well received and people, I think, enjoyed the time at it. And our leadership is happy to help support us in doing more events, all 4 of us, which is a great networking opportunity. The culture committee has decided that for this quarter's community focus, they will be doing a backpack drive for schools in Kansas City, the Kansas City area. We'll keep you up to date on details, but if you know the school in need or someone that we can partner with, please let Kendall know. We would appreciate getting connected to them. We're working hard to make sure that we get set up with someone before July hits. All right, July social media content calendar will be out, or is out currently. So go check it out. I know that this was in talking to people about being more regular about their social media posts. It was a great way to have ideas of what to do each day. Canada Day, so we've got new designs for Canada Day, July 1st. Independence Day, July 4th, if you want to just go snag those if you don't have a Canva account. And then, I can't say this. If Ben was here, he would be able to say it for us. I'm not going to say it. On the 20th, we've got a little time to learn how to say it. All right. Why am I showing you a calendar of July? It's because Elizabeth likes visuals. I'm a visual person. Okay, so the red arrow is pointing to today. Okay, today's the 29th of June. We have that whole month of July. Super exciting. I'm telling you this because if you do want to be more consistent about your social media posts, if you want to put stuff on the calendar to make sure you get it done in the month of July, because a lot of you, I mean, we closed up 1.1 million in GCI because you guys are killing it out there. You're running around, closing deals, writing offers, doing crazy stuff. So take a breather and plan out your July. The other reason I'm bringing this up to you guys, after July comes August. And this year's real estate market, and those of you that have been in the business for more than a year can probably nod and agree, is kind of seems to be following a little bit more of a traditional season of real estate where things start to get a little weird in the end of mid-June, end of June, early July, where it gets kind of quiet. And this happens every year, guys. So this is not new that the market's getting a little funny. And so we are somewhat following, and I sold for 10 years, with somewhat following that more traditional real estate calendar where it gets kind of weird. And part of that is because schools start in August. So Shawnee Mission East, I think those kids need extra schooling because they're going back on the 12th. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding, like, oh, I just the looks from some of you alumni in here. It's too fun. I think you guys also, you guys are still got out earlier. But they're going back on the 12th of August, those poor kids. And Blue Valley starting on the 18th. I Googled all this for you. Okay, KCPS starts on the 23rd. And the reason why this is important is that we all take a moment and realize that we really don't have that much time. People, if their school starts on the 12th, guess what they're doing in the month, towards the end of July and towards the beginning of August? All of it, that might be that last family vacation. That's buying school supplies, school, like clothes, getting all of the scrambling to get everything kind of ready for school, right? Not only that, but it probably will bleed into July a little bit if they take a vacation that last weekend before school starts in their Shawnee Mission. That's likely the weekend that they're doing it, right? So before we kind of thought, we have 33 days before August 1st. Really, guys, if you look at it, probably have more like 31 days if they're going to probably have that last week before school starts, so they're not going to be wanting to try to go look at houses or be moving or those kinds of things. So I guess what I'm trying to share with y'all is it looks like we have tons and tons of time. And yet really, we have probably about 45 days in which people are going to be actively either still listing their property before school starts, still considering maybe making them if they do have kids. And why is this important to you? You guys are all looking at me like, my clients don't even have kids, Elizabeth. Like, they are really trying not to have kids right now. Like, concerted efforts to not have children. Why do I care when school starts? Okay, so you have a buyer that's looking in Prairie Village, and they want the house that somebody who's having their second baby or their first baby is moving out of, or someone that has kids. You know, like, think about whose house your buyer is buying, and who's moving out of that house. Or those people maybe have a 6-year-old and a 10-year-old that's getting ready to start school. They're probably not putting their house on the market in late August, right? If they're gonna have kids starting school in August, they're probably, those houses, like all of the houses that are gonna be coming on, July is your month, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I've got a lot of confused month faces. And now is go time, right? So you have about 45 days, guys, before things get really weird in August. I'm bubbling through this beautifully. So how are you going to design your July? Is my question to many of you. Are we going to like try to pour in as many more buyers and say, hey, if now's the time the market's gotten weird, let's go? Because there's a lot of people scrambling to get their house on the market that do have kids that are going to start school in August, and they're trying to get moved before August happens. Also, what does your August look like? Because this is your chance. Anything you write in the next 45 days, so starting July 1st, you write for those 45 days, are going to be your third quarter sales because they're likely to close in September or August or September. What I'm encouraging you to do is to go download a calendar and really think about it and plan out what is it that you want to try to accomplish. Is it you want to be humble, hungry, and hustle? Because there's going to be a lot of agents that are ducking into this big. I mean, I used to do it every year. July came around, I was at the lake a lot more because I'd worked my tail off. March, April, May, June. I hadn't seen my family. I hadn't got a whole lot of quality time with friends. And so, guys, are you going to be? It's a good time if you haven't been hitting your numbers and you aren't, go out there and beat all the other agents because many of them are pulling back and their buyers are pulling back. Also, it's completely okay for you to choose the other option of relaxing, recharging, and refueling. So if you've been running around with your head cut off and you are one of those people that have closed over 1.3 million yourself this month, and there's multiple of you, I looked at the reports. It's okay too for you to duck into and put some time on the calendar in July and in August and take a little time and take breather. But just note that you do need to be very purposeful right now with the people in your world. And if there's somebody that has to be in a house by the end of August because their lease is up or something of that sort, some of that opportunity is gonna happen more in July than it's gonna be available. You know, or if they need to be in by the end of September. Just be very thoughtful that the market is changing and it gets kind of quiet every year. Okay, I'll go really fast. Keller Mortgage, there's quick campaign, quick posts that you can do for Keller Mortgage. And you can only use Keller Mortgage if you are working with a Keller Williams agent. They have no loan fees and they do give a credit to buyers towards closing costs. I promised Randy, so this is our training. We have training tomorrow with the Dylan, best practices post-sale marketing. Dylan Crandall tomorrow, 10 a.m.
Be there.
Be there. Okay. Randy Vanderpool.
Hey, I will try not to take too much time. Nick, if you could give screen share permission to both of my IDs, because I had to log in from my other one, that would be fabulous.
Nick's working on it.
Fabulous. I am back from vacation. It was absolutely amazing. I wanted to share quick video, give you about a minute's worth of the video, and then talk about the market a little bit here. So let me try and share this.
You might have to request it. There's been an update on this app and it's weird now.
He's right here. Yeah.
Yeah, but you see, it doesn't allow me to let him share.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't allow you to let me share.
Yeah.
What was the ask him to start a video thing? On when you were on Randy Vanderpool, the thing that ask him to start a video, ask to start a video.
No, it's because he doesn't have his video on.
Yeah,
that one.
that's that one. Yeah.
Maybe go to the other
Oh,
one.
here, wait a second. Start my video. Is that what I needed to click? There's two of me now.
There, no, there is two.
So go back up. to the
No.
Technology.
Yeah, there's nothing on it now.
That's-
They used to allow me to put him as co-host.
All right, well, I'll tell you what, I'll post that video online for all of you to take a look at. Let me get rid of this screen then, so you don't see the side of my head. And I'll just talk a little bit about the market. Elizabeth made some awesome points here, which are really critical. I have one of the test things, actually not a test, but I have a team in my office which is doing another new Zillow program. And again, make no mistake, they are out to put us out of business without question. The good news for Missouri is they don't allow any type of rebates. So this is why USAA and none of the others. And from the last time I spoke to the Missouri Attorney General when he was at a meeting, Missouri will not be letting rebates in, and they're pretty emphatic about that. So that's the good news there. Just wanted to give you a quick update on the marketplace. I had both Alicia and Chris Fosgate filling in for me, and I can tell you this, there were a whole lot of price reductions signed in my absence. And the reason behind that is the fact that if you've been listening in on Beverage with the Broker, you've heard me talk before, there is a shift going on in our marketplace. And it's not unexpected because obviously the average sales price going up 15.2% year over year, people aren't getting pay raises like that. So they're just, it hits that affordability piece. And of course, there reaches a point where the buyers are saying, we're not willing to pay that. Now, the good news is that, as we shift, it's going to be a gradual one. Our market is not crashing. However, the inventory is up to 3,204 active listings right now, another 581 coming on, which are currently on pre-MLS. And so what we have to do is we have to stop being fortune tellers, okay? We can't try and predict where a buyer is willing to go to. We have to price homes the way that we historically have, looking at market data, looking at solds, looking at the trends. And again, you have this on the spreadsheet I put out every single month. Inventory trends have been showing market trends have been trending up. And so there's more inventory out there, and that's good news, especially if you're working with a buyer. If you're working with a seller, it's our fiduciary duty to let people know what's going on in the marketplace. And guess what? They need to know that now. Our property's still selling with multiple offers? Yes, if they look great and they're priced right. But there's a whole lot of people that are going onto the market on Thursday and they're scratching their heads on Monday or Tuesday because maybe they have one offer or they've only had 3 showings. I flew down to Cozumel for my vacation. There was not an available seat on any one of the flights that I was on. Not one. So people are traveling, people are shopping, people are out and about. And so the fear of loss is a little less now. So again, the best thing that you can do is to show your clients what's going on in the market and give them the data, which we have, to support. Now's the time to go on the market. Now's the time to price it right. We're going to go back, as Elizabeth alluded to a more traditional marketplace, meaning kids, we want to buy a house, we want to move before the kids go back to school. That wasn't a factor during the pandemic because everybody was at home. So again, that's shifted now. We're going to go back to more of a traditional marketplace. And trust me, the fact that we're shifting now is a great thing because now we enter what I call a skill-based market. Those of us who know how to price homes, who know how to market our homes, are part of the largest real estate company in the world. We're the ones who can get that done for our clients. So please, I beg you, call me. You need support. You need even to run something by me in terms of numbers. Do it because again, the people that are right now on the market are, a lot of them are sitting there and they're more properties are on the market from 30 to 60 days than there were any time recently this year. So again, they're not all selling within 30 days now. So it's just critical that you do it. Also, I spoke to Toby Breer. He owns Schuster Appraisals before I left on vacation. And he personally told me that the trend was over 10 days on the data that the appraisers are looking at. So again, it's critical you get them priced right now. Otherwise, it will cost your sellers money. Thanks so much.
Get them on the market, Randy, too. Like that, now is the time too to say, guys, no, we talked about going on July 14th and we really need to go on July 14th. We cannot, like, no, we don't need to push it to the end of July.
Absolutely, because 581 more homes are coming onto the market. So again, this is the biggest inventory level we've seen in the last 2 years now with those properties that are coming on the market. Thanks so much. I'm so thrilled to be back. I am recharged and ready to support you.
Excellent. So glad you got away, Randy. And
Thank you.
for all your buyers, like get them off the fence, out there, educate them. Think about what your messaging that you're targeting to your people. It's a great time. Or if you've been working like crazy, guys, don't tell Lucas I said this, but it is okay too for you to relax, recharge, and such. We all need that. All right, have a great day. Lots of stuff on tour sheets around at the front desk. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you, Nick.